In Season 4 of Bridgerton, a significant tragedy looms for the character of Francesca, as her husband, John Sterling, is expected to die, mirroring events from Julia Quinn's book When He Was Wicked. John's death, resulting from a cerebral aneurysm, could occur by season's end, setting up Francesca's emotional journey as she navigates grief and eventually finds love with Michaela. While production began in September 2024, the release date is likely set for 2026. Fans are bracing for this heart-wrenching turn of events, marking it as one of the series' most significant tragedies. Bridgerton season May 4th have a major tragedy for Daphne's replacement, and I'm so not ready for it. A horrible tragedy is in store for one Bridgerton character, and it might happen much sooner than anyone anticipated, much to my dismay. The Netflix historical romance TV show is based on Julia Quinn's Bridgerton book series, which chronicles the different love stories of each Bridgerton sibling: Daphne, Anthony, Benedict, Colin, Eloise, Francesca, Hyacinth, and Gregory. Since each novel revolves around one romance, the Netflix show follows suit, with every season adapting one book. Season 1 is about Daphne, Season 2 focuses on Anthony, Season 3 revolves around Colin, and Season 4 features Benedict's love story. Production on Bridgerton Season 4 began in September 2024, and while Netflix hasn't confirmed a release date, it likely won't premiere until 2026 at the earliest. Bridgerton Season 3 skips over Benedict's book, as his is the third in Quinn's series, and moves up Colin's, fourth in the series. Thankfully, Season 4 will finally center around Benedict and his romance with Sophie Beck. I, along with many other fans, am looking forward to watching Benedict and Sophie's Cinderella-esque love story unravel on the screen. However, I'm also nervous that one heart-wrenching tragedy from the books will also play out by the season's end. John Sterling, Francesca's husband, dies in the Bridgerton books. Francesca and John are married for 2 years before his death. John Sterling dies at the beginning of Francesca's Bridgerton book When He Was Wicked. His sudden death was a result of a ruptured cerebral aneurysm that he suffered at the couple's Scotland home, leaving Francesca absolutely devastated. She and John's cousin, Michael, were on a walk and returned home to find John dead. Francesca was also pregnant at the time but sadly had a miscarriage after her husband's death. Francesca grieves John for 4 years before she falls in love with someone else. She reunites with Michael, who has been gender-swapped in the Netflix show, and is now Michaela, and the two embark on a romance. Francesca and Michael eventually marry, which is how Francesca's story ends. Bridgerton will likely adapt Francesca's story in Season 6 if the writers stick to the order of the books from now on, with Eloise's romance probably coming in Season 5. However, although the series still has 2 seasons to go until then, Season 4 could, unfortunately, very easily end with John's death. Why John Sterling may die in Bridgerton Season 4. Bridgerton's timeline would line up with John dying by Season 4's end. Even though Francesca and John are married for 2 years before he dies in the books, it would make sense if John's death happens at Bridgerton Season 4's end, especially if it adapts the time jump in Benedict's novel. As mentioned above, Francesca waits 4 years before moving on from John. Yes, she and John just got married during Bridgerton Season 3's ending, but Season 4 could feature a time jump. Even if it doesn't, and although I'm nowhere near ready for the tragedy, John dying during Season 4's conclusion would set up the perfect timeline for Francesca's story. John dying at the end of Bridgerton Season 4 gives Francesca 1 season to mourn her loss before she can explore her romance with Michaela. That way, Francesca and Michaela getting together wouldn't feel rushed. Of course, this theory is all banking on Francesca being the focus of Bridgerton Season 6, which is the most likely possibility. John Sterling's death will be one of Bridgerton's biggest tragedies. Bridgerton hasn't featured many character deaths. Every Bridgerton season, including Queen Charlotte, has its fair share of heartbreak. However, John's inevitable death will undoubtedly be one of the Netflix TV show's biggest tragedies. King George's illness is probably the only thing that can compete with it, as viewers get to know him in the prequel series. Meanwhile, Edmund's death happens before the show's events, and he only appears in one flashback scene, which is heartbreaking nonetheless. Heading into Bridgerton Season 4, we should all prepare as much as we can for John's death, but nothing could ever really make me ready for the inescapable tragedy. As Bridgerton continues, it will be difficult for any event to compare to John's tragic death. Thankfully, none of the other Bridgerton siblings' spouses die, at least, in the books. So, heading into Bridgerton Season 4, we should all prepare as much as we can for John's death, but nothing could ever really make me ready for the inescapable tragedy. Stay tuned to our channel for all Bridgerton updates before tomorrow. Like the video. Thank you all.